Hello, everyone. Welcome to
James?
BeerThralls. God, why are you doing this? God damn it. Welcome to BeerThralls Presents Beer Protocol. I'm James. I'm drinking Hardy Woods Bourbon Barrel Gingerbread Stout
Ooh.
in a glass bottle.
If you watch carefully, you can see his body going, no, why are
No.
you doing this to us?
There's gluten in there.
You're seeing my body go, oh, yes, why? It's so good.
Well, we'll find out in about 2 hours after your stomach goes,
That's-
oh no, I made a mistake.
That's fine.
So,
Hey, Jake, who are you and what are you drinking?
this is Jake. I am drinking
Jake's
Breckenridge
drinking.
whiskey.
He looked at the glass like I was going to tell him. Oh, thank you, glass.
My glass does say Glenmorangie on it, so there's a decent chance if I was drinking the right kind of scotch, it would.
So Jake is actually drinking Breckenridge's aged in PX cask
Ooh,
whiskey.
that
It's
sounds
good.
delicious.
It is delicious. I
That
bought
is
it.
really
I
good.
know.
I don't think I've had it before. It's good.
It real good. I like it almost as much as I like Jefferson aged at sea.
That stuff was delicious.
It is delicious.
So-
You know I don't
Lies.
fuck around with my whiskey.
Who are you?
I'm Matt. And I'm drinking the same thing Jake is, because I poured both our glasses.
Which one? Tink.
Clinky.
Clink to another fine crisis.
So, we're going to talk about the
Vampires.
not vampire, the daywalker.
So today we're going to talk about Blade, alias Eric Brooks. Has anyone ever called him Eric?
Dude, I didn't even know his name was Eric. I thought his name was just Blade. Like he decided to go like all emo and just decided to call himself Blade.
I want to see the deleted scene of someone calling Wesley Snipes Eric,
Just
for him to stare at him until he went away.
Okay, just turns around. Eric? And he turns around and goes, no, my name is Blade. I don't go by that name anymore.
So, Blade is the new, just released officially in the U.S. I think. Like
Yep.
he's finally hitting
Friday.
shelves.
Friday.
So we are going to talk about Blade and the new affiliation he brings to the table, the Midnight Suns,
Dun, dun, dun.
which I am kind of excited for another reason. The game made by the XCOM team at Firaxis does look interesting.
I'm curious.
So it's a good year to learn about the Midnight Suns and their lore.
But
Let's
it's-
kick things off by looking at Blade in Marvel Crisis Protocol, though.
I'm going to take him.
Blade.
Oh, wait. I just jumped right to the end. He's just that good.
I mean, okay, fair enough. Blade has 6 stamina, a medium move, size 2, threat 4. He has 4 physical defense, 3 energy defense, and 4 mystic defense.
Yep.
Already, we can see Blade has good amount of health, good defenses, and is threat 4. So we're expecting some special mechanics and some other output to help keep him on the table. He also has good mystic defense, which is worth pointing out, because following right after Blade's going to be Convocation.
Yep.
So you're going to see a lot of mystic attacks in the game.
Oh,
Speaking of which,
can't wait for Baron and Mordo.
Soon. Blade's first attack is the Katana, a
And
range
Mystic.
2, 5 dice Mystic Builder. Having a Mystic Builder
How is his
is
katana
interesting.
mystic?
vampires, sir. Vampires.
You only think you saw the Katana slash.
Dude, he is so emo. He is so emo and goth that my katana cuts your soul.
It really does feel like they should have changed the name of this to anything. After this attack is resolved, this character gains power equal to the damage dealt, an automatic bleed trigger,
Mhm.
and on a wild, pierce.
That's
Change one of the defending characters' defensive hits to a blank.
This is a really good fucking builder.
A 5 dice builder with auto bleed and pierce is a good solid workhorse. It is a little short ranged. I'd have to check Blade's base size. I think
He's normal
Beyblade,
size.
yes.
Beyblade.
He just spins around like a top.
I do think he's on a larger base size, which helps kind of.
I don't remember
Well,
actually.
I think think he's on a normal.
I think
the
he's on a normal size
normal
base.
30 millimeter.
He just has that.
Maybe he is.
He looks
He
a little
just
bit
has
larger.
a whole goddamn diorama going on.
Yeah, he just
Oh
looks
yeah,
larger
in a
'cause
very
diorama.
small area.
So it is potentially a little short-ranged, but he's got other things to make up for that. We'll see in a bit. His second attack is Throwing Glaives, a range 4 dice physical for 0. After this attack is resolved, this character gains 1 power, and on a wild, bleed.
Not a bad range attack.
I mean, to be fair, it helps offset the fact that his good workhorse attack is range 2. Having a range 4 poke really helps make up for sometimes just coming up a little short. The automatic power gain is sometimes more useful than a builder if you really just need 1 more power to do something. So solid and wild for bleed seems relevant. We'll come back to why.
Vampires.
Vampires. Finally, a final spender for Knight of the Dampier, range 3, 7 dice, 4 power, mystical spender. If the target character has the bleed special condition, you may re-roll any number of attack dice. Always a good rule. Fun payoff for bleed. This attack also inflicts automatic bleed. After this attack is resolved, this character may advance medium.
Be
So
very,
this is
very,
neat.
be very, very afraid after he flips, and now he's sitting on 8 power.
It's a good hard-hitting attack. Automatic bleed, so you're going to get some damage in, even if you don't finish them off, and you get extra movement off it. And it's overall not terribly expensive.
No, it's actually a solid attack.
Yep. And again, Mystic. All right. Looking at bleeds. Someone else talk.
Bump in the Night. Affiliation Midnight Suns. Once per turn, at any time during an allied character's activation, it may spend 1 power. If it does, place that character within one of its current position. It's a mini teleport for everyone.
Now,
Yay! Self-telekinesis.
range 1 doesn't sound like a lot, but turns out it's a lot.
Is.
So let's say you're on 5 power, but or actually you're on 4 power, and you're at range 4 with Blade. You really want to be within range 3 to be Knight of the Dampier, but you're just a little you can't because you're going to have to spend that 1 power. Oh, Throwing Glaives gives you 1 power, even if you don't actually do wound anything. So now you get your 4, you move, boom. You're now doing Night of the Dampier.
Yes.
One in this game, like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but a 1 move is still like.
And
So-
that's just on Blade's card.
Yeah.
A 1-inch movement with a larger base, which Midnight Suns.
Yeah, Corvus
Oh, sorry.
Glaive, Proxima Midnight, and like dropping them in Midnight Suns, and suddenly now they have a 1-inch.
A range 1 placement can sometimes be the difference between having to move and being able to attack twice.
Also,
Like, it's a big deal.
it's a place.
Yes.
So like I'm going on top of that building. Boop, you're on top of the building. It's so good.
Also worth pointing out, this is a nice bit of anti-control tech. If you're now a range 1 place will typically not compensate for being pushed short off of a point.
That's true.
But if you were basically overlapping an objective, a 1-inch place might be enough to get you back into position. So it's good to be trying to anticipate where your opponents are going to be pushing you from, and maybe if you have the extra movement, moving further up than you might have otherwise. That way, if they try to push you out in a later round, you might be able to use this to bop back in and attack twice.
So I have a question on the next one. Half-Blood Physiology. This character immediately performs a shake action for 1 power.
Yep.
I believe it's shaken or stunned.
Not stirred.
Is it stunned? What's the one that says stagger? That says you have to spend your first action to shake.
You could use this instead of doing that.
Okay. So
Half-Blood Physiology is basically trading 1 power to get rid of 1 status condition, and it's going to make Blade extremely difficult to disable.
Because you could do it as many times as you want, as you got power.
God, I just noticed that too.
You got 10 power and 10 statuses. You got nothing.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to be one thing that's going to make Blade's activation timing really important for players, because your opponent is still going to want to put debilitating status conditions on you. So it's going to be, okay, will I get benefit out of that status condition before Blade activates? Something like Incinerate.
Yeah, actually,
Or,
that's what I was thinking of because there's a mission. Matt, we were playing it where if like you're
Yeah.
within one of objective, you get incinerated.
Yep.
This is
Mhm.
that's nice.
So it could force Blade's player to go fast and potentially activate Blade early, which, depending on your list composition, there are advantages for having Blade go late or early. It's just something to bear in mind, and when trying to unpack your list and determine what your activation priorities for the round are, if Blade has something your opponent can take advantage of now, it's going to prioritize making him go earlier in the round so you can clear those conditions. It does make other conditions potentially tricky as well. Something like stun.
Yep.
Throwing stun on Blade after he's already gone means you will still be able to pummel him without giving him much energy. Something like poison, where
Yep.
you're taking away his 1 power per turn. If you can get that on him after he's gone, and he's nothing you can do about it. So just you're gonna have to time things out more than stick it and forget it.
Yep. So
Okay.
his next power is supernatural senses. When this character is defending against a physical or a psychic attack, after rolling
Mystic.
after rolling its defense dice, it may use a superpower. This character may reroll any number of defense dice, including skull results.
Hey
It's good.
James, that would be really good for you in that one game we're playing.
Shut up.
Uh, it is it's hit or miss that you have to spend 2 power for this because it means you can punch through this with enough repeated attacks. But it does, combined with Blade's 4 defense on both of those, make Blade surprisingly tanky.
Yep.
The ability to reroll skulls is good. Um, Also worth noting, it is reroll any number of defense dice, not all defense dice. So you can keep any successes you already had
hmm
and just reroll all of the failures.
This is
Uh,
I see this being more
Amazing.
of a like a oh shit button,
Yeah.
more than a like a I do this every turn.
Well, Amazing Spider-Man has this
For
already by
free.
default for free without being able to reroll skulls. But Amazing Spider-Man is a 5 threat character.
Yeah.
So this is good. It's worth keeping 2 power on Blade, depending on how much damage or how many attacks you're expecting to come in. I think it's also helpful that Blade actually doesn't have a lot of ways to spend power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blade has lots of ways to get power. He has 2 different builders, and he has a passive we'll get to in a second. But Blade himself has his spender, and he has this and half-blood physiology, which, if your opponent is not putting status conditions on you, you're not going to use half-blood physiology, so you
Yep.
don't need to spend it on that.
His
So
last
there's a
his
decent.
oh
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. I was going to say there's a decent chance Blade will have enough power available to use supernatural senses fairly often.
Especially if you're getting pummeled twice in a row, and now you have the power because you actually got wounded. Now you can spend this to kind of like offset the next attack. Um, his last always on power is Vampiric Immortality. At the end of this character's activation, it gains 1 power and removes 1 damage from itself. And for each other character within 2 that has this bleed special condition. Do you see a running theme here?
Not at all.
So, want to hear some fun facts?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, A, this is cool. B, it
He
does
doesn't
not
sparkle.
say. B, it does not say each enemy character
Nope.
that has the bleed special condition. Does your opponent inflict lots of bleed? Are you playing against Carnage? Remind him that's not a good idea all the time.
All I imagine is
Hey
Blade just
James,
running around
it's
licking
not
his
a good idea
friends.
all the time.
Shut up! It is. Uh, so all I can imagine is Blade just running up and just licking his friends in between rounds.
Jesus, what's wrong with you? This is, but the range 2 restriction is combined with Blade's small base and medium move. He does not have any movement tricks other than his leadership ability, so Blade will likely be wanting to move pretty often, and so the turns where you get to double attack and your opponent is not going to do something about it may not be the best.
And
And also,
we're going through this pretty quick because there's a lot of things we want to talk about that's not on this card.
this is definitely something you can build around, which is partially what we're going to talk about here in a bit. I could see also being pretty common is that Blade wants to be on points.
Mhm.
Blade is not Blade does not have an explosive AoE to hit a lot of enemies and clear out a zone, but he does have a way to gain lots of power and heal himself by staying in the thick of a fight. So kind of like Daredevil, who just wants to be in the middle of a lot of people. I think Blade's got a similar idea. Is he is a tanky character who can do self healing, recover from stats conditions, good defenses. His offense is not incredible.
Mm.
He doesn't have anything particularly standing out for his offense other than he can use his spender probably relatively often, given the amount of power he generates.
He's got a couple combos. His wounded side.
On his wounded side appears to be the same.
All right,
Same amount of health, no changes to his abilities.
Let us talk about
Hawkeye.
What you could do.
We're going to
with
talk
Blade.
about Hawkeye. So I want to talk real quick about the Midnight Suns, because that's part of it, is with this ability to combo with Bleed. Bleed has been a status condition that's been around since the release of the game. Is there a list or affiliation you could make to really, wow, this monitor glare is powerful.
You are very illuminated.
There we go.
It's because he's so smart.
Anyway, it's back. So what can the Midnight Suns bring to the table to combo with this? And it turns out, I don't think a ton. So Midnight Suns' current list as of MCP database. Black Cat. Actually kind of fantastic, because Black Cat is just good and does the objective running and thieving really well.
Once again,
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange original, not Sorcerer Supreme.
I'm not sure I want to spend 5 points.
Ghost Rider. I would consider spending 5 points on the revised Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah. No,
But then it raises the question. You now have 2 extremely tanky models in your list for 9 points. Thankfully, Ghost Rider hits pretty hard. It is a pretty worthy 5-point slot. Iron Fist, Moon Knight, and Wong are the remaining Midnight Sun affiliations.
You could probably bring a Defenders list.
You could probably combo into Defenders. But it's interesting to me that of those, like Moon Knight and Iron Fist are kind of playing similar games.
Yeah.
In the we are a 3-threat beat stick. We're going to run around and hit things. Moon Knight at least has
Shenanigans,
Wall Crawler, and some other shenanigans that he might combo out. Like Iron Fist has his spender, the Iron Fist. But otherwise, he's a pretty straightforward beater.
Would you consider...
Which Blade already kind of does?
So, New Wong...
they're
going to change him a little bit. Might change this a little bit, but I could see bringing him with anything that Black Cat's also in. So, like, Criminal Syndicate has Black Cat, and so does Web Warriors have Black Cat. So
maybe.
I mean, it's
I'm not sure I see the Wong Black Cat connection.
I mean, I could see Wong with the new I want to say Knight Rider.
Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider.
James, can you explain why Wong?
Yeah,
just throwing out the isn't he throw out the extra power?
Yeah, I think it costs him an action to throw out power.
Yeah, doing that with
but
Ghost Rider
also
would help.
2-threat. 2-threat for an extra power.
I mean, he
does have a heal. He does have a heal.
Yeah, but I don't see Wong. I can see Wong basically escorting Ghost Rider, but
oh no! That's never going to work out in a real game. I think Ghost Rider leaves Wong behind immediately.
True.
Ghost Rider is too much
for the
movement.
Big base. I don't.
Wong needs something to make him a recommendable figure, because at 2-threat, I'd be like, take New Rocket. Because what you don't have with the Midnight Suns base list is just a big F-off range attack. And Rocket's got a 5-dice consistent energy range attack for 2. Okoye, the bodyguard, one of your tanks. It is interesting to me that the 2 big stars, like the 3 big stars of Midnight Suns as it currently exists. Oh, I missed one. Dr. Voodoo.
Oh, no, you bring Dr. Voodoo.
Yeah, Dr. Voodoo is also a bring.
Dr. Voodoo everywhere.
Mostly because he's really cool. We haven't talked about him yet in the podcast, so I'm not sure if we can say what he's good at.
So
but he's really
strange. Cool. He's good at everything to depending on if his ghost brother is also out. He's weird. We need to talk in real depth about how
There'll
he's
be an
going to
episode
work.
about voodoo.
He confuses me.
He
I didn't like
confused
it.
me too.
So-
I don't understand like how
But-
he's fitted in. Like he plays his own game. That's the problem.
So voodoo is 4 threat. So Black Cat, I think, is a wildly different enough piece from Blade that you're not really overlapping in roles. If you're going to play Midnight Suns, I would take Black Cat almost every time. She's a good 3 threat model that does a good job.
Yep.
But that kind of leaves your other 3 and 2 spots open because most of the Midnight Suns are centerpieces, big threat models. Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Blade is 4, Doctor Voodoo is 4.
Yep.
And like you have Moon Knight, who I think does a pretty respectable job of being a mixed range, terrain ignoring beat stick. Also, potentially, if he gets the extra moves fairly often, he could turn into a really good objective runner or chaser.
So yeah, I can. So they're not going to
So-
be a killing team. They're not
For
going to be able to
3
kill a
threat?
lot of things.
For 3 threat, splash Hawkeye.
Yep.
Brings us back to what we were getting to earlier. Is we think if you want to build, because also none of these people add bleed.
That's true.
If you want to splash more bleed into the team to trigger Blade's ability more reliably, bring Hawkeye, who can, with his wild trigger on his arrow, inflict bleed. So you have a range 5 dice bleed for 3 threat. And Hawkeye himself also has other good stats conditions for if someone already has bleed. You can still trip him up in other ways.
Yep. And then like if you want to splash in, like so at that point you're going to make them like an objective runner. Black Cat's going to be your star. She's going to grab some shit and she's going to run away. And then you're going to have like Blade, Moon Knight, and Ghost Rider being your like sitting on a point and just getting points that way.
I'd almost think that. So let me propose something while we're still here talking about Midnight Suns in general, and we are going to break down more detail. Let's look at their tactic cards, or
Okay.
at least the ones that we know of so far. The first one, Banishment. Midnight. Oh, hey, this card has Art of Elsa Bloodstone. I want to see Elsa Bloodstone.
Ooh.
Bring her to this game, please.
It's
Midnight
Elsa
Suns.
Bloodstone.
After an attack made by an allied Midnight Suns is resolved if the attack roll contained exclamation point, wild, and hit, the allied character may spend 2 power to play this card. The target character and enemy characters within range 2 of it gain the stun special condition.
Oh, that's nice.
It's interesting too, because in order to play it, you have to get the right roll combination, which not super uncommon. And then being able to tack stun onto potentially any attack and a big splash could help make up for not really having any AoEs in
Yep.
affiliation. Bats, the Ghost Hound.
I don't know that one.
When an allied Midnight Suns character is modifying its attack or defense dice, it may spend 2 power to play this card. Change one of the allied character's attack or defense dice to any result. This effect may change skulls.
Be good.
That's cool. It's like if you really need,
At
it
what
comes
step?
up like when modifying attack or defense.
Okay, so you can't change it to a crit and then roll another die.
Correct. This is
Hmm.
potentially super interesting because this almost makes me want to go look through all of the characters and be like, who has an incredible pop off ability on attack trigger?
Carnage.
Not Carnage, you fool. He's not a Midnight Sun character, so we
Oh,
couldn't
no.
even use it.
Ah, shit, you're right. God dang it, it's a Midnight Suns card.
No, it's Doctor Strange and Mystic Binding.
Yeah.
It's 100%. This is a tactic card that basically reads, did you want to do Mystic Binding today?
Oh, what's his card that does the big blast thing?
Strange?
Yeah.
A great question. Pin that. We'll come back and answer that. In a minute.
No, but he's got a card that basically just like it's a range 5, just everything gets hit beam.
Yeah.
It's the Kamehameha.
Yeah, and?
Using that with this is kind of nice too. Like
Does
everything
that
just has to
have
die.
a trigger?
It doesn't, but it still just add extra damage and stuff. It just
If you're spending 2 power to add 1 guaranteed damage, that feels like a bad trade.
I have played against enough of the Black Order to know that if you want to kill these fuckers, you kill them when you can.
I guess, but because you do have to be modifying your dice, so you're already committed to re-rolling something. So it's not like you're just adding an attack damage to the attack you've already made. I feel like this is 100% to trigger special abilities on attacks.
It is, but still, it's.
But I
Uh,
pissed
s-
James off enough that he's just coming up with any
Oh,
way to
I
ruin my
am.
day.
I am.
Yeah. Like 1 damage is not going to turn your 8 dice, 7 Sons of Cinnabus special tactic card attack into an instant win for you.
You never know. But one
Mhm.
time.
The one time it works, and I'll sit over here with the 10 other times you tried to make it work. And just be like, how are these statistics working out for you?
Hey,
Pretty good.
Though that's super cool.
it
Um,
works 100% of the time, 60% of the time.
Anyway,
Thank you.
Siege of the final tactic card we know of at this point, Siege of Darkness. Any number of allied Midnight Suns characters can spend 2 power each to play this card. Each character that's spent power can immediately perform an attack with a cost of 0.
Well, bugger
It's
all. That's
Wakanda.
amazing.
It's Wakanda Forever rebalanced to cost 1 more power per person, so you can't do it round 1.
Eh.
Yeah,
But it's still Wakanda Forever.
it is just a little rebalanced. Yes,
It's interesting though
it's
because
still amazing.
all of these tactics cards are benefiting Midnight Suns characters in particular,
Hmm.
and they all very much seem to encourage like a Wakanda Forever effect is a good enough reason to play in affiliation. But I still feel like you're going to run into problems playing purely Midnight Suns. I think you're going to be best served by having a roster which has Midnight Suns as an off affiliation,
Yep.
and you can splash more stuff into it. Just because they just don't have enough models for you to really build a significantly deep roster to handle most situations.
I'm
And
still gonna. I
they have
agree
too
with
many
you.
high threat models.
I agree with you.
Yep.
It's not gonna like maybe defenders is the alt list as of right now.
Yep.
But I would see Blade being tossed into Spider Foes.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Blade himself is also an Avenger, and
Yep.
so he will splash into a Sam Avengers list pretty well.
hmm
Well, maybe not Sam because he wants probably, depending on how the points play out, Blade's spot might be taken by a 3 cost.
I
You can
mean,
have another 3
really,
cost or a 2 cost.
really, any list that's going to have a crap ton of bleeds being tossed out, or that you know is going to have bleeds being tossed out on you, throw Blade into. Now,
Yeah.
once again, why Hawkeye?
Hawkeye has bleed on his range 5 attack.
Yeah, he gets a wild and you can just go bleed.
That was it.
Yeah.
Also, because Hawkeye is freaking good, and we need to be using him more. All 3 of us.
I know.
I don't own
also
him. You can't get
Carnage.
mad at me.
Honestly, okay. So
You're gonna be like, no Carnage, James. Stop talking about Carnage.
Carnage isn't a terrible pick. It isn't. My problem being
All right, thanks
is
everyone for
I
watching. And
Venom also has the guaranteed bleed on his
Mhm.
basic attack at the same range, even. So my only problem is I do feel like for like a close range beat stick, Blade himself is already doing a really similar job at 4. Blade is clearly tankier.
if I was gonna go for a killing, if I was gonna go for a pure kill Spire Foes list, I probably would throw Blade in. Just because I'm gonna want to have that Knight of the Damn Fear passing out some more bleeds. Him being able to take off stuff, he'll become like my mini tank to kind of take some hits.
But I feel like you have really good tanks and spider foes
We
already.
do like Lizard, but
Yeah, like why would you take Blade over Lizard to tank?
I'm actually really considering taking Blade over Goblin.
How are you going to play spider foes then?
I
Yeah.
don't need the uh I don't need the affiliation bonus. The affiliation bonus is
Do you mean the new one?
yeah,
The revised one?
still
The
the
free
affiliation
modify?
the free modify. I can still get away with not having the free modify.
I'd rather have the affiliation bonus personally.
Also, Goblin himself has a 6 dice basic attack now.
Oh,
Don't
that's right. It
forget
does a
that.
6x6.
Yeah, it's like Goblin's good, dude.
Who else can I throw
Goblin's
away?
actually good.
Who can else I throw away? We're gonna throw Blade somewhere. I actually,
I think it's also the problem every time there's a cool model that comes out is where can I put this? Because so many affiliations have a deep enough bench now
yeah,
that a lot of roles are kind of covered.
I,
So
I still
looking at
find them in an
Splash,
Avengers list if you're doing Captain Rogers with Hawkeye, throwing him into the mix kind of makes a little sense.
yep, nope, I think that would be an interesting list. But Blade himself, final verdict around the table.
I say since he has like if you're bringing him in a list and you're looking at your cards, he doesn't have a lot of stuff to spend on. It's the first time ever I will say, find a spender card, find an attack card.
Or counterpoint, Wakandan R&D. Take all
Or
of Blade's
Wakanda
excess
R&D.
power and just give it to the rest of the team.
Yep, I can see that
Yep.
being a huge possibility. Yes,
I'm I think Blade is both a gorgeous model. I think they capture good thematic, flavorful elements in his card design and sort of what he's doing. I think he's a solidly average, like midfield tank piece who can put out a good amount of damage while he's taking hits. And I don't think you need to really reach too hard to find a place for him for sort of like a Defenders or a Midnight Sun
Criminal
roster.
Syndicate because you get the extra bonus if he's actually on the healthy side. So, and he's going to be on the healthy side an awful lot.
Back to my other point though, is just like Criminal Syndicate has other good models in affiliation that can use like the super stealth tactic card.
Don't make me bring in Bullseye. We bash Bullseye so bad. Don't make me.
I was
I'm-
thinking of
I'm gonna force
Taskmaster.
you to use it.
Like I don't even see
Um,
Criminal Syndicate players playing Taskmaster anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space is tight. You got to have a
space is
specific
tight.
job. You can't just be generically good anymore. There's enough models in the game now.
All right, Matt, what do you think?
Well, I'm minimally gonna buy it. It's a pretty model.
Mhm.
It'll probably
Also
pop
consume Moon
up
Knight.
in all of my rosters, and I'll take them where it sees fit. But Jake's right. He doesn't fill a niche that someone else doesn't do it appropriately already in their faction.
I still
He's just
think,
really cool about it.
yeah, I think he's still a pretty good tank. I would take him at a good tanking role, especially if I was doing like Gamma Shelters or even the Terrigen Mist, I believe is the mission where like the secures
Yes,
move around.
Terrigen Mists.
Where the secures move around. Him with Night of the Dampier kind of like gets him more in position and stuff. I
Yep.
see him being an objective, like just getting an objective and just sitting on it. I see him being perfect for that. Even if it's like hammers, giving him an extra die, it would just be great.
Actually,
Actually,
we need to double check hammers because I think he's terrible at hammers. If it works the way I remember it attacking. Hammers may only buff physical attacks.
No.
It's just there's so many physical attacks in the game.
Fair.
No.
Come here, internet.
One die to their attack rolls.
Ah,
Never
thank
mind.
God. I was playing that right the entire time.
James is having an existential crisis.
I was like,
shit, I cheated.
Did I cheat at that game? Oh no.
It wouldn't be the first or last time.
Still, like an 8 dice Night of the Dampier or a friggin' 6 dice katana attack.
All of them are good. All right, thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys didn't mind us rambling a little wide afield, looking at possible Midnight Suns rosters talk. Hopefully, we'll be looking at the other Midnight Suns soon. I think we probably owe an episode on Moon Knight.
We do.
Dr. Voodoo for sure. And
when he's released. When he's released.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
and I want to look for our wonderful noob down below. I want to look at the new cards for Black Order and see how they affect.
I don't want
to.
They didn't happen. Go away.
There was another new release that we'll probably discuss soon as well. While we wait for some of that Black Order information to finalize, a certain tall, dark, and flaming portal
I am
striding son of a bitch.
I'm not getting him.
Don't worry,
don't have to.
James. I
Two.
bought 2.
I know. All right. Thanks everyone
One
for
of which
watching.
will be raffled at.
Oh, we forgot. Food
I didn't
Machine.
forget. What are you talking about?
I forgot. Food Machine. December 11th at Huzzah Hobbies in Northern Virginia. If you're around, we're going to have an MCP tournament. Right now, it's limited to 8 players, but we are going to have possibly more. We can throw tables together. The entry fee is
10
10
tickets.
tickets, which is 1 can of some type of meat, so like tuna, chicken,
Protein.
some type of protein. Is 1 ticket, and
3
if you
cans of
get 3 cans of
vegetables.
vegetables, you get a ticket. There's also going to be raffles, one of which being the Dormammu. We also have from 40K Kill Team events going on. We have a D&D role-playing event. We've got a whole bunch of raffles and a board game play and take, along with Magic the Gathering doing a Chaos Draft, in which there's also going to be raffled the gigantic Calandra, is her name? The fire
Cassandra.
chick.
Look, we don't play Magic very often.
yeah,
And we're sorry about that.
But
basically,
she's really cool statue.
yeah, the very cool statue Huzzah Hobbies has donated for the raffle, so you could possibly win the statue. So yes, December 11th, please come out and help a worthy cause and play some games.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
hang out with us because we're cool.
Are we?
Let me toot my own horn a little bit. It's called self-confidence. I'm trying to build it up.
All right, game off.
Bye.